Berlin to freeze rents and give tenants rights to sue landlords after rising costs force residents out to suburbs. New law tackling rising prices sets cap for 1.5 million properties built before 2014.
Here's a summary of the article.
Rents in Berlin will be frozen for 5 years under a new law targeting the housing crisis in the German capital. It limits rents to a maximum of €9.80 per square meter excluding bills, at a time when the current average rent stands at €11.60. Tenants will also be able to sue landlords to reduce rents if they are above the cap, while landlords face restrictions on their ability to raise prices. She added, in the next 5 years, tenants no longer have to fear losing the roof over their heads due to exorbitant rent increases or high modernization costs. Berlin, which was known for low rents after the wall came down in 1989, has seen sharp rises in prices since the 1990s and now has the lowest rate of home ownership in Germany, at just 18%. By 2016, the lack of affordable housing prompted the city government to pass legislation aimed at preventing apartments being left empty by property speculators or rented out to tourists using Airbnb and other services. The latest legislation sets out a rent table with different limits set depending on when the property was built, beginning at €3.92 per square meter for pre-1918 properties with heating and without a bath.
This post received a score of 6,122, with an upvote ratio of 96%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
The way it is done actually has a ton of negative consequences. Honestly, the government should just do it the Singaporean style. Build apartment buildings and lease cheap apartments on 100-year leases. Only allow one single lease per citizen. Singapore managed to solve their housing problem with this.
Singapore also had one of the greatest benevolent dictators of all time, which helps a whole fucking heapful.
I have some googling to do. Who was it?
Lee Kuan Yew.
Gesundheit.
Zerreisen soll es dich und deine Brieftasche soll mittreffen.
The ceilings in Berlin apartment buildings are about to get really low.
Underrated comment. Gotta say, it's odd the government there doesn't understand economics. People moving away from the city would ease congestion and allow for those who want to pay extra money to do so. I see no downside to naturally high rents other than people having an extra commute and maybe having to change professions.
The vast majority of people don't use cars to travel around the city, so congestion isn't really the biggest issue in the world for Berlin. Hope you were joking with the commute profession comments.
Lol, just get a different job, yo.
The only kinds of houses developers build anymore are $200,000, and most of those are way ass out in the sticks where young people don't want to live. We don't want big houses, we don't want to live far away, and we don't want a big ass house. There are a shit ton of people in their early 30s looking for the first house in the near suburbs, and they want the price at or below $120,000. Most of us really don't want to have to renovate an old house anyway.
In the German city where I live, developers mainly build luxury condos and office space, where a new 2-bedroom condo costs close to $1 million, and then the buyers do not own any ground.
It seems like around the world all Western-style cities are transitioning to renting and/or owning condos with no land. As real estate prices go up, it becomes more financially sensible to rent rather than own. This is a definite problem in cities like NYC, LA, and San Francisco. In LA, a small house might start at $300,000. In Dayton, $300,000 gets you 4,000 square feet. The fact that I have to own a car in Dayton barely puts a dent in the price difference.
It would have made a lot more sense if Germany started building a lot more affordable housing for people.
Georgism is a better fix than price controls.
Greater than some experts also suggested it would encourage a black market in housing and discourage landlords from maintaining their properties. Well, yay. Supply and demand, freezing rent stops new supply coming onto the market. German birth rates are below replacement rates.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.